Hello, fellow vapors. Sorry about this. It's probably not one of my best ones. It's going to probably be a little bit noisy. It's really hot right now, so you can see I've got a fan going and try and keep me cool. You may see me going like this. I'm sweating. It's about 30 degrees in here right now. Anyway, normally what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing something, and I've been using it for about a month, and I've tested it out and made sure everything's okay. This one I wanted to put in something real fast because I basically found a problem with this. When I was going to do a review of my DNA, you'll notice the display is half missing now. Well, this is a Raiju Clone. Okay, yeah, I know a lot of people are going to say it's a clone, it's your own fault. Right, okay. See, if you notice the two positive post screws there, it's a dual post. A dual screw, like two holes, and now one single post. Wanted to get into doing some dual coils like this, and figured I'd, do it that way to get the coils moved over a little bit, so I got this clone, picked up this clone. It's a Raiju Clone. Now the problem with this is, well, I did it up and, it's like, okay, 0.37. Perfect for testing out on the DNA, no problem. No problem, so I build it up, I test it, everything looks good. Stick my top cap on, stick my drip tip on, go to vape, and if you'll notice what happens, oh, look at that. It's flipping around. It's dropping down to 0.1, 0.10, 0.8. Oh, do you see the 0.8 in there? Okay. See the problem with that? It's changing. What I had to do was I had to pick up an insulator because my drip tip is metal. The screws in there are metal, and they're so close. I'm just actually going to see, but see they're so close. One of them actually got discolored, but I'm just going to make sure they're all nicely tightened down. One was a little bit loose. Anyway, still 0.37. So basically what happened is, because of that, a little bit. All right. Sure everything looks okay. Okay, I got it down to about 0.34 now. Because the top cap is pretty much getting into like being so close to those screws, with the metal drip tip, it was shorting out. So I put an insulator on the top, and then I can put my drip tip on there. Now it's actually safe to use. Just show you. I'll throw it on my Panzer. Make sure I get everything lined up. Air holes open. Alright. Okay. Another good reason to have the fan on. So it's producing good vapor, and it is actually working. But without this insulator on there, when I put it on my DNA, I thought, oh well, damn it, I'm an idiot. The resistance was too low. It mucked up my DNA. My fault. So I threw it onto this, fired it up. Same thing happened. I almost vented the battery on this thing. This has got a 50 amp battery. And it's a 2600 mod, right? Okay. So like, it's a big, huge, monstrous battery. This will take 50. This will provide 50 amps. Okay. I was mightily pissed off. I thought it was my fault. Then I found out that it was the top cap because I put it onto there. And it was only when I stuck it on my meter that I did notice that the drip tip was shorting the to the post. So lucky for me, I found it. So basically, this is a big, huge warning to anybody out there that's vaping and that has Either it has this Raiju Clone. If you put thick wire in and those screws are up any distance, I mean, I'm sure what I could do is I could probably grind off a little bit of the screws so that they're actually down flush. Because you can see the negative ones, they're down nice and tight. The positive ones are still up kind of high. I can't screw those down anymore. And that's because those holes for the post are a little bit higher than the negative ones are. So basically, if anybody has got one of these or anything similar, make sure you check the top cap. Make sure that it's far enough away. I've got this other one, a Stellaire. This is Stellaire clone, right? But you notice that's where the holes are. Okay, notice where the top cap is, and notice how much higher the top cap is. When you put this on there, right, and you take this top cap off, you'll see you got like 5-6 millimeters. This is perfect. Like, why can't people do this? You know, do the same thing with this. Unfortunately, I can't mount this top on that one, but I mean, if this thing was about 4 or 5 millimeters higher, no problem. It would be fantastic. Guys, make the top cap larger. Get those screws further away from the top cap so they don't short out. This is dangerous. It can vent batteries. You vent somebody's battery. It could have a fire or whatever. Could be dangerous, and I mean, especially if you're vaping like this and you've twisted the thing and it decides to vent out the top, it's going to hit your face. It's like, be extra careful with these things. I'm going to say anytime you get a dripper, and anytime I get a dripper from now on, the first thing I'm going to be doing is checking to see how far those screws are away from the top cap. Negative post, it's probably not going to matter because the outside is negative. But is it going to bugger up your coils? Probably. Could it cause problems? Probably. Do I want to make sure the positive post is fine? Yeah, I do. And 2 posts. This has got the double post in the middle, so it's the 3-poster. I'm going to say anything that's got a positive post right in the middle, under the middle, check to see how far away from the top cap it is. If you're using a metal drip tip, is it going to short out? Because I mean, you're going to drop it down to what? I saw at least a 0.8 ohm in there. 0.8 ohms. Let's see. We'll do a quick calculation here. What do we got here? Ohm's law. So what we're trying to figure out is how much current that's going to pull. From, let's say, a fully charged battery is like 4.1 volts resistance, and that was what, 0.08, and that's going to be 51 amps. Okay, that's for a split second, 51 amps. Okay, probably okay for my 50 amp batteries, but I mean, if it drops down to 0.4 or almost a dead short, I mean, this is dangerous. If you've got like a 20 amp battery in there, that's like hugely over it. It's gonna like fry out the battery for you. Don't know if anybody's ever seen a battery vent, but it's bloody dangerous. You get a lot of hot gases going out, and like for instance with this one, they've got the holes for venting the battery. Gee, wait, hold it. So if this thing decides to vent, there you go. You know, it's going to burn your hand at the same time because there's going to be hot gases coming out. So once again, be safe, be careful, check these things out. Post anything that's like even remotely dangerous like this, and let's keep us our vapors safe. I mean, we've got off. For me personally, I got off cigarettes. I use vape to help me quit smoking. Some of you may just be vaping for the sake of vaping. I'm trying to save my life by not smoking cigarettes and vaping. Guess what? This thing could have caused serious damage and caused serious problems. If I'd been vaping like this, I could have damaged my face. I don't want to damage myself. I don't want to see anybody else get hurt by any of this. So please be careful and extra careful and know exactly what you're doing. And like I said, it's only by chance that I actually found out that it was not me. It was actually the dripper that was the problem. I thought I'd done something wrong. I was right. I was following my safety protocol, checking everything out, making sure that everything was good. The drip cap touched and shorted out. It was not, well, I suppose it was my fault because I'm buying a clone or whatever. But my thing is I was being safe. I know what's going on. I've seen about the electronics. I know about electronics. I've been working with electronics and computers pretty much my entire life. I know the dangers that these things can have. I'm really very careful about it. Whenever I'm doing anything, I double check and triple check everything to make sure that everything's okay and I'm not going to have any issues with anything. I had an issue with this. I'm not one of these people that gets given stuff to test out. I'd like to be. Be nice if somebody would actually pay me or send me devices to test after use. If you want somebody to do that and test something out for about a month and brutalize it and abuse it and use it, I'm the person for you. I will quite happily use it in a normal everyday working condition, drop it on the ground. Yes, I'm probably going to drop it like anybody else. I'm not going to be one of these people that's like so careful with something like, oh, we'll put it down and be nice. It's like, you're never going to see any boxes from me because basically I take the boxes and I recycle them. If it's got any plastic that I can recycle, I recycle cardboard or recycle paper or recycle. Everything gets recycled. Big thing on recycling. So you'll never see any of my boxes and stuff. Yeah, I've had them. I bought the stuff. It was brand new. It's been used. It's been abused. You'll see dents and scratches and marks on this stuff. It's not the, quote, pristine stuff. For instance, my DNA now has a missing display on it. It's like, oh, yeah, it works great. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm really impressed with the DNA that it survived as well as it did for what happened to it. I mean, when I fired it, it was probably firing at about 4.3 ohms, or 0.43 ohms. And then when I must have moved the drip tip and it made a quick short contact, it instantly dropped down to about 0.008 or 0.004, somewhere in that range somewhere. Shorted out, melted something inside there, or fried some chip inside there that does the display, but only half the display, notice. Half the display. So it fried out one chip. The rest of it seems to be working fine. I can lock it, I can fire it, I can change the voltage, or I can change the power on it, so I can adjust it up and down. The only thing I can't tell is what it is. Right now it says 0 ohms, and the voltage is 0. So it will actually work. I can fire off of it. So like I said, I'm pretty impressed that it actually survived. The battery survived inside it. The only thing that went was the display on it. That is built-in protection circuit. Maybe it was lucky that happened on there, so they knew what was going on. And when I put it on my Panzer mod, and something happened, then I suddenly tweaked that, hey, maybe it wasn't me that mucked up. Maybe there was something wrong with the Addy, which is when I stuffed it onto the ohm meter and started playing around and checking, and that's when I found out that screw is. And now also, if you look at the screw, one of the screws is a different color. It's a little darker, right? I figure that's the one that fired inside, and there's also some black stuff on the inside in there, from I'm sure where it touched, and had no end of problems. Anyway, that's my gripe and my bitch. This is a Raiju Clone. Not sure if this is going to happen with the actual Raiju itself, but with the Raiju Clone, definitely watch out, be careful. This is hideously dangerous. From now on, any dripper I'm going to get that has something like this, I'm going to be checking it out 100% ahead of time before I do anything to see if it's going to be safe. If it's not going to be safe, I'm not going to buy it. This is one reason to actually buy from a store. instead of ordering it online without seeing it because you can't tell. I took this on word of mouth that this was a good dripper to have. I don't see a problem with this dripper until I notice the screws. Huge, 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 massive problem. So anyway, stay safe. Check out your drippers. Make sure that they're going to be not causing you an issue. From now on, I'm always running mine with an insulator on top, just to be on the safe side. That's about it. So vape happy and vape safe, guys.